Welcome back to another episode of Vintage Dreams Garage, where we remove this rusty fender and replace it, plus another fender, and possibly a hood. And we get a crick in our neck in the process. Started on our 1968 Pontiac Ventura, actually getting the bodywork started. So what we're going to start working on is swapping the fenders, possibly the hood, though it's in pretty good shape. But I'm driving it more lately and I am losing a ton of rust, and frankly I'm just tired of looking at them. So I'm gonna start getting this thing apart. I apologize for the noise. They are demolishing the school next door, and most of this I guess is just gonna be me working. So if you saw a previous episode, this fender here actually repaired all the rust in there. That's all pretty good now. This fender doesn't look, none of these fenders have any Bondo on them. I've sanded parts. This fender looks like it's in pretty good shape, and this hood's in decent shape too. No hail dents, no rust, no nothing. We just had to fix that one, so they should be good for the car. Now the car, on the other hand, not so good on the fenders. Now they're pretty straight, no hail damage or dents or anything. But you can tell, I'm gonna move out of the shadow there. You can tell this is all bubbled out. This is just complete rust on the inside of there. They don't make patch panels for these. When we go around to the other side, and I mean, this is done. This fender is done. Now the hood, no hail dents or anything. Little rust spot I could just sand. So we might actually reuse the original hood. But these fenders are definitely going to be a better option. Now there is one thing. These are Catalina fenders, which on the outside is the same, but that's what we have to deal with. Now this is a Pontiac Catalina, one could say, but it's the Ventura package. And I have tried to think about how I can get those letters off and put them on the other fender. But when you look at these, it doesn't look like they're going to be in a straight, nice, easy line. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that yet. I think for now the important part is just to get some rust-free parts on this car and then go from there. I'm really hoping that this swings forward, not backward. Really gotta love taking a hood off by yourself, though. Oh, that was about a pain 3. Alrighty. I lost both of my head bolts on that side, so that sucks. I'm gonna have to find those. I found both bolts. Yay. Cool with me. Maybe that can stay on there. Okay, what other bolts do we got? Gotta find the last bolt. Alright, so we got the old fender off. New fender's gonna go on. I am gonna have to figure this out someday, but not today. So this is the area that I patched, and I just put some primer and black paint on top of that. This is the area completely missing, and it's all bent up right there. Nothing real bad other than the bottom. And I actually probably can fix this fender, which I probably will do eventually, just because they're not remaking these. So that will probably be something that I make a little patch for, and yeah. So on to the actual car. I kind of washed it out a little bit. I got like some mud stuff I got to get off of here. But surprisingly, this inner fender well is in remarkably good shape. All of this is just mud, not rust. So that's pretty cool. And despite the rest of the car rusting out, the inside here doesn't look too bad. In fact, even the bottom of the fender well, I'm going to put some rust converter on this. But this is some surface rust. But I'll probably take a wire wheel, sand this down, rust convert anything I can't. And I mean, yeah, we're looking pretty good. I can definitely tell my rocker has got some cancer in it though. But I think they don't make that either, but I think I can fabricate that. So this fender really had a lot of bolts. This is all the bolts for the fender. The ones with the bolt I stuck in the hood. So this is all just fender bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15? 15 in total. And you're probably already wondering if I kept track of where exactly those bolts went. No, I did not. So as I take apart the other side, I'll probably have to piece this together like a freaking puzzle, because I'm an idiot, and that's what I do. Alrighty, that's gonna do it for today. Got the old fender off. We ground down a lot of the rust, surface rust that was on there. We did put some rust converter, that's what looks wet, slash sealer in areas I couldn't get and areas that are openly exposed or bare metal. So that needs 24 hours to sit. After that, I can primer that area, and we'll get the new fender on. So tomorrow after work, new fender install. We'll go take this old other one off. And probably have to do the same thing, and then the next day hopefully it doesn't rain and I can get that fender on here. But I would like to be done with the front end by this weekend, so I guess we'll see what happens. This is going to be more difficult than I originally thought. Well, it's not rusty, but now we got to figure out how to actually get all these bolts back in here and make it line up and do the thing it's supposed to do. I love old cars. I love old cars. I love old cars. So unfortunately I got a little bit of rain coming in, but we actually got this dust cover in here lined up right. Our door gap isn't too bad. It does get a little bit tight up here, but door opens perfectly fine. I might still try to work on that. I think I need to put a spacer at the spot. I had to cover it all up. Let me get in the garage. Hang on, let me shut the radio off. So the fender's on, and I had to cover everything up as best I can because I got rain coming, but I wanted to get that fender on before the rain. Checking out this old fender. We didn't even have any support left that was actually holding it on down here. Even the inner structure's gone. Other than that, ton of surface rust and everything everywhere. All bent right here. I mean, they don't remake 1968 Catalina / Ventura fenders, so I'd hate to get rid of it. I don't have the skill to rebuild this entire thing the way that it's supposed to be. So yeah, like I said, I don't have the skill to actually fix that fender. Hence why I'm replacing the entire fender with a good one. Now granted, I did have to repair that fender, which I made a video on, but that fender, the inner structure was all still okay. Following the edge of the fender was actually okay, so I just needed to cut out the rust and weld in another patch that I made. This one, I mean, I would have to recreate the entire bottom section, and I mean, maybe someday I'll be able to take something like that off, but I'm definitely not there now. So the next step is going to be to get this fender on there. With the rain, nothing else is happening today. I got it tarped up like you saw, but tomorrow hopefully I can get off work, get the fender off, do the same thing, wire wheel it, rust treat anything I can't get to, rust convert, whatever you want to call it, and then I'll get the new fender on. Following that, it's the hood, and then at the very last part of this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that front valance off, and it's mostly fine. It's got some surface rust. I'm going to sand it down and everything, but on the passenger side, it's kind of funky and damaged, sort of like the fender is. I don't know, they must have hit something at some point in its life. It doesn't look bad to just straighten out though. I'm thinking some basic tools once I get it off of there and I can fix it, but I guess we'll see. On to the next day, I guess. Alrighty, day 3, a little bit windier, a little bit wetter. My tarp actually stayed on. It did sag down with some water, but I'm gonna go ahead and get this fender off because I want to put that rust converter on there and let it give it a full 24 hours. Tomorrow's supposed to be a nice day, so that's a good day to reinstall this fender and go after the hood. So I'm a little more familiar with where all the bolts are and everything now. I should be able to knock this out pretty quick. Hopefully an hour. somewhere. Now this one you can tell, hopefully you can hear me because the wind, but this one you can tell, she ain't near as bad as that other one. This phone is just not going to survive today with this wind like that. So this is all just dirt. I got a little bit of surface rust here. I can grind that down, rust convert it. I'll spray down inside here. I'll treat this stuff up here. But really, not that bad. More dirty than anything, so that's a good sign. Let's go check out this fender. Once I get done treating this, I'm done for the day. I'll do this on a warmer, more enjoyable day. Okay, what are we looking at here? Okay. So you can see this is just all bubbled out down here and rotten. This one didn't look that bad compared to the other, but when you flip her around and you look at the inside, you can see same scenario. The there we go. The inner support here is just completely gone. It's trash. And they don't, I mean, if they made patch panels for these, sure, but pretty much it's like some rusty Bondo left. That's what's holding the entire bottom of this fender together. So that's why we're swapping. Now I'll show you the new fender. So this is our new fender that'll be going on. Obviously it looks okay from the outside. Everywhere else just as good a shape as the old fender. I'll have to swap those out for the Ventura ones. But it's really, I can treat, you know, the inside of this. None of this is, it's all just little surface. I mean, it's 55 years old. But look at this inner structure. She's actually pretty good. So I can treat all that. I'll hit what I can with the wire wheel, and then I'll spray up inside there with some rust converter. But just mental snapshot of that. Not bad. Versus this, really bad. And this was our other fender where it's just completely missing. So this will be the first step to having a where the Ventura actually starts looking like a real car again. Alright, we've rust converted the areas on there that needed a little bit of touch up that I couldn't wire wheel. Clean up all the surface rust on the fender and our door jamb area. There's stuff in here I will have to go back and fix later when I have a bigger garage and can really take this car down. But for the time being, I'm doing the best I can. So that's all cleaned up, converted. Anywhere that doesn't have rust will basically just be sealed. Any place that has rust, it should turn black. And yeah, hopefully tomorrow now we can get that fender on there, and then we can get the hood on. Now, I don't know if I showed in a previous video or not. We thought this hood was good, but it's actually rotting from the inside out. So you couldn't really tell before, but really seeing it now, it's a shame. I don't exactly know what we're gonna do, but we'll figure it out. All right, day 3. I ripped a contact. I'm having a rough start to the afternoon, but finally home. The weekend has started. Let's go ahead and check this fender out. Alright, so we are rust converted, painted up in that area, all rattle canny, but it doesn't look too bad. We're just cleaning up the spot that's going to be completely hidden by the fender and treating everything that we can treat. So now it's time for me to get this fender on. So we're going to have to take this, I think it's called a valence panel. It runs, has a license plate holder on it. It's got some surface rust everywhere, but that's not really what I'm worried about, though I am going to fix it when I get it off. This side is just all boogered up. So I got to get it off. I got to straighten some of this metal out and then get it up where it'll actually hook to this fender properly. Okay, so this came off way better than I thought it would. Now it's got some pretty deep scrapes in it. It's got some surface rust. This is that side that was all boogered up. I can flatten that out pretty good. I'm gonna get all this little stuff scraped up, cleaned up, and we'll just get it in primer. There's some dents in here that I think I can hammer and dolly out. I'm not going for perfect, but I am going for better than it was. I mean, there's some dings in here too. This is all dinged up. I think this is a dent. So, yeah, I mean, they don't remake this. We're gonna do our best. But, you know, maybe this isn't a dent. Maybe it's supposed to be like that for the plate. So all these bolt holes still line up. So I actually think this might be okay. Well, I'm gonna get the wire wheel out. Oh, it's cracked all the way through right there. I'm gonna need a weld too. I'm gonna get the wire wheel out, start cleaning this off, and go from there. Okay, so just to take a brief break here. Crows are not carnivorous, right? Because all of a sudden there's a ton of them. They're very loud, and it feels like they're all looking at me, and I don't like it. I don't like how it feels. It's making it really hard to concentrate. I mean, there's just a ton of them up there. I really don't want to get eaten by a crow. I have to go for the eyes first. Anyway, I better get back to work. Well, I am having a freaking hell of a time. The door gap on the other side, wow, the sun is just right. The door gap on the other side, not so bad. The door gap on this side, I am way too close to the bottom, way too far at the top. I need to go like 1/16 of an inch, like this. And I think that means I'm gonna have to loosen up all the bolts. But every time I try to get leverage, I can't really get it. So I'm gonna, I worked today. I'm gonna take the day off, relax the rest of the day. Tomorrow I'll try it again on my own. And if I can't, then I might have to call somebody and get a little bit of help. But otherwise, yeah, both fenders are actually on it. If I can get this thing lined up right for my door gap, we can put the hood on tomorrow. Not a bad day. Alright, so let's go ahead and take the final look. Rust-free fenders are on. Looking pretty good overall. We did have to go with the original hood, and that is because one of the holes in the other hood was actually rusted through. The threads were all messed up. And then both of these hoods actually have the same rust damage on both sides. So that's kind of where those are at. But our body lines don't look too bad overall. There's still some little stuff to do as we go on this. The rocker panels will be the next thing that we work on, but that'll be another video. So thanks for watching. If you like watching our videos, like and subscribe. Have a good day, everyone.